Okay, we're taking notes for 11.2, simplifying expressions with radical or rational exponents. It is actually just the next step for our homework assignment that is tomorrow night, okay, and the next night. So I'm trying to show you small portions of it because there's so much involved in these two lessons. So I'm trying to kind of just give you little pieces of it. I found this on the internet and I thought it was perfect for what we're doing. Because what it does is it takes all your properties of exponents, and these are your normal, simple properties of exponents, and it applies it to rational expressions. Okay? So, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through this handout. You're going to see how the property of exponents relate normally, and then how they relate with rational exponents. Are you guys with me on that? Okay, so check this out. So the first problem says the product of powers. So if I just do a regular product of powers problem, it's a to the m times a to the n. We know that since the bases are the same, what do we do with our exponents? Add them. So everybody write this down. This answer would be a m plus n. Okay, so now what's the difference? Well, now we're looking at it with rational exponents, in other words, with fractions. You're still going to do the same thing. And this is on your homework, and kids get confused by that, but you don't have to. You're still going to add your exponents. So what are we adding together? Well, write this down. You're doing 3, and then you're doing 1/2. And what do we do with our exponents? Add them. So plus 3 over 2 equals, now add your exponents. 1/2 plus 3 over 2 is 4 over 2, which is 2. So this is 3 to the second. Final answer is 3 to the second equals what? 9. Keep in mind, and this is going to happen on your homework, sometimes the denominator is not going to be the same. What do you have to do? Find a common denominator, add them together. So that will happen on your homework. Okay, next one, the quotient of powers. So if it's a quotient of powers, normal exponent rule is, what do you do with the exponents if they have the same base? Subtract. So it's am minus n. So then you're going to apply the same rule right here, which is 6, and you, again, with your rational exponents, you subtract. So it's 5 over 2 minus 1/2. Again, sometimes they may not be common denominators. In this case, they are. So ready? 5/2 minus 1/2 is 4/2. So it's 6 4/2, which is 6 over what? 2, which are simply, our answer is 36. Okay, power to power. So our power to power is we multiply our exponents together. So this is am times n. You're going to do the same thing with your fractional exponents. So you're going to multiply 3/2 times 2. That was part of the warm-up. So we're going to do 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. So if you look at this, guys, well, never mind, I'll talk about that in a second. So that's 4, and then what do I write? 6 over 2, which is actually 4 to the, what's 6 over 2? 3. What is 4 to the third? 64. I had one student last hour that when they were doing one of the problems, and this fractional exponent, when they multiplied it together, it came out to be like 5 over 2. And he changed it to 2.5. Don't change it to a mixed number. I need you to leave it as a fraction because sometimes you might have to put it back into rational form, into a radical form. So leave it improper. Leave it as a fraction. Okay, guys, if it is. All right, next. This is one that gets kids all the time, and you'll see this on your homework, and it's going to be tough. Not necessarily today, but probably tomorrow and Monday. So this is a to the n, write it down, and b to the n. So how do I do this problem right here if I'm talking about a rational exponent? Well, I have to take 4 to the 1/2 times x to the 1/2. Now what you have to realize is you have two different rules because numbers have different rules than variables, right guys? What's the rule for our numerical answer here, or numerical problem? The second root of 2. What's the second root of 2? Or I'm sorry, the second root of 4, 2. So this answer right here is 2. But what about this one? Can I simplify this?
No.
So I need to put it in radical form. So what's the answer? The square root of x. Now remember, we usually don't put that 2 there, so the actual answer is this. And you do not need anything next to the 2 indicating multiplication, because a radical symbol is just like a parenthesis. It means multiply. Yes?
So which one was the
Final answer is right here, 2 square root of x.
Well, I don't know.
It's okay. All right, ready? This one you're going to see on your homework a couple times today. A over b to the nth power. It is a power of a quotient, which means a to the n over b to the n. Are you guys with me on that? You have to do those separately, okay? You have to do 8 to the 1/3 over 27 to the 1/3. And then I'm hoping that you guys are starting to see that you can actually simplify that pretty easy. Okay, well, hold on. What is the 3rd root of 8, right? 2. Do you guys see you can do those in your head?
Absolutely.
Okay, and what is the 3rd root of 27?
3.
3. So our final answer is just 2/3. Okay, the last one right here is negative exponents. So if I have a negative exponent, a to the -1, what does that negative exponent tell me to do? Put it to the bottom, move it to the bottom. So this is 1 over a to the nth. Now I'm telling you, probably the easiest way to do a negative exponent that is a fractional exponent is move it first. Okay, so let's move it first. So if I move it first, it's 1 over what? 1 over what?
Over
25 to the 1/2. What happened to my negative? It did its job, right? It did its job. So now we're going to simplify it. Equals 1 over, and what's my simplified form? Can I simplify that? Yeah, because the 2nd root of 25 is 5. So all of these rules right here that we just worked on, you're going to be applying to tonight's homework, tomorrow night's homework, and Monday and Tuesdays, okay? So what you're going to do next is